What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR 365. What is going on? Welcome to a Saturday episode of the show. It is June 15th, and we are right at 12:12 p.m. on the clock. 12:12. It is the witching hour at this point in time. Nah, that's not actually the witching hour. But yeah, what is going on, guys? It is Saturday, and we've got another show for you. I've got a handful of different news stories to get into, some announcements that have been made recently, or some information that has come out recently. We've got a number of things to talk about, so why don't we go ahead and get into it? I know there are some other YouTube shows that are ongoing right now at this moment. I think F Reality, I'm pretty sure their show is still going on. I actually checked in on the F Reality episode today, and I was checking in on it periodically to see like when it was going to end so that we could start this show. And when I happened to check in on the F Reality podcast, Nathy was talking for a long time, basically just ranting and raving about Aspire 1 VR Operative. I thought it was eSpire. I've been calling it eSpire 1, but I guess everybody that talks about it calls it Aspire 1. So Aspire 1 VR Operative by Digital Load. Apparently this is a game that needs to jump way the F up the rankings on VR game rankings, most wanted PC VR games. It's kind of sounding like Aspire 1, whatever you want to call it, is maybe one of these elite games. And maybe it should be mentioned with games like Asgard's Wrath, games like No Man's Sky, games like Stormland, Defector, and other games as well. Maybe eSpire 1 should be up there with the big boys, and that's awesome. That is incredibly awesome that we might have another really big VR game that is an exciting game that is not very far away either. It's coming in August. The game is also coming to the Oculus Quest. However, the Oculus Quest version, according to Nathy, he talked to the developers there at E3, and apparently the Oculus Quest version is farther off in the distance. So maybe we might be looking at very, very early 2020 before we get eSpire 1 on the Oculus Quest, but it is coming to the Oculus Quest as well. So good news over there. So we've got a number of good things to report on. In fact, why don't we go ahead and get it started? We've got some major news, ladies and gentlemen. This has been probably spreading around the VR gaming community recently. Let's go to the Webby browser. Let's see what is happening here. And Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 VR. Now remember this, folks. Remember this. VR Game Rankings has predicted for a long time that Borderlands 2 VR was going to arrive on PC VR platforms in the month of July. Okay, we're not too far away from July. I'm feeling pretty good because this is Arthan's VR, a website called Arthans. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but basically what they're reporting is Borderlands 2 VR for the PC has been rated by the ESRB. And here's even more news. Epic Game Store has been confirmed. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what? I would not be the least bit surprised. I would not be surprised whatsoever if Borderlands 2 VR somehow becomes an Epic Game Store game. But so Arthans VR is reporting on this, that apparently there is an ESRB rating for the Windows PC version of Borderlands 2. It has surfaced online. Now here's the thing though, guys. Here's the thing. If I click on this link, it takes us here, Entertainment Software Rating Board, and it has Borderlands 2, and all it's showing is Borderlands 2 VR PlayStation 4. I'm not seeing any PC VR thing when I click on this. So don't know what the deal is. I'm not seeing Windows PC anywhere right here. But that is the link that they have when you go, when you follow Arthan's, this link they have. Now, on the Arthan's website, you can see right here, Borderlands 2 VR, platform, Windows PC, store, Epic Game Store exclusive. No, I'm just kidding. You know, and then it has the ratings and all this stuff. So I don't know. I guess like I'm going to still consider this technically a rumor. Technically, this is a rumor because I haven't seen this actual page that shows the PC version of Borderlands 2 getting this ESRB rating, but it makes all the sense in the world. I mean, come on, guys. Do you really think 2K Games, do you really think Gearbox Software is just going to leave a big pile of money just sitting there on the table and they're going to be like, man, look at that pile of money. Nah, you know, we shouldn't touch that pile of money. Just leave it there. We're going to back away slowly. No Borderlands 2 for your Oculus Rift, for your HTC Vive, Cosmos, for your ValveIndex, for your Pimax, or whatever the hell it is, right? But they're not going to do that. Of course, Capcom did it. Now, there's a difference with Capcom, though, because let's remember, Capcom, that's a controller-based game, Resident Evil 7, and Capcom may have decided internally that if they were ever going to bring it to PC, they would have to provide legit motion controller support, and maybe that just turned them off from the whole thing, where Borderlands has hand support from the very beginning. So it wouldn't be that much effort for them to bring this to PC VR. So that is big news right there. It is exciting because people were starting to get worried. They were starting to get concerned. Borderlands 2, it is a good situation here. Let's see what folks are talking about in chat real quick before we bounce to our next story here. VR Spry Guy says, evening PD. Brandon is in the building. Jim Hall. Better to release on Rift first, then Quest. I think talking about eSpire 1. And Gerillo says, no, this is a virtual stranger's secret for tomorrow. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you've been spoiled, brah. VR Spry Guy says, yes, love me some Borderlands 2 pancake. I can't wait for VR. And Chris says, finally, I have waited for Borderlands 2 for a long time. Still have hope they've implemented a multiplayer. That actually is the really big question there. Kevgrat says, anyone could have predicted this. You're not freaking Nostradamus, brah. The exclusive with PSVR ended a few weeks ago. I also predict a physical release for PSVR when the PC version is announced. So, you know, I played Borderlands 2 VR on PlayStation VR, played it for a while. It ultimately, I just fell off of it. And I'm not sure what caused me to fall off of it because I was playing it with the aim controller, and it's definitely a majorly improved experience when you have the aim controller. Graphics are a bit watered down. Now, Invisible VR Man with a very interesting question that has just hit. Invisible VR Man says, have you got your reverb yet? And you know what? I am backing off. I am stepping away from the HP reverb for at least a good solid week here. I was just about to order an HP reverb, but here's the deal. There's been some people that have gotten some reverbs very recently, and they seem to be having some problems. And really, there's one guy that reviewed the reverb, and he said that this is a narrower headset than the original CV1. Well, you know what I've always said about the CV1? It pinches the side of my face. The Oculus CV1 is not extremely comfortable for me because it kind of digs into the side right here after a little while. And the freaking reverb apparently is even more narrow. So that could be even worse. And then with the HTC Vive Cosmos, with all the well, I don't know how much Cosmos news we're actually going to get next week, but we should get a price, I think. We should get like a release month or maybe a closer window of time. Like maybe they'll say September. Maybe they'll give us an actual date for the Vive Cosmos. So my Reverb, yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't know about the Reverb now. So I'm kind of putting the Reverb on hold. But anyway, we've got additional major VR game news. In fact, this was like the title of our show today. And the title of our show, let's go to Road to VR and Vanishing Realms. This is big, big news. And you know what? You want to talk about like synchronicities and like Nostradamus predictions and all these kinds of things. Again, kind of Captain Obvious. I totally understand that. But let me tell you guys, just like yesterday or the day before, I was at work. I was working at my job and I was thinking about 2016. And I was thinking about VR games, like, because I was thinking about Arizona Sunshine, and I was thinking about Job Simulator and Raw Data and all the biggest games that came out in 2016. And do we have the follow-ups yet? And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, Arizona Sunshine. Well, Arizona Sunshine 2 is called After the Fall, but it's Arizona Sunshine 2, in my opinion, right? And so I'm thinking about these games finally getting like sequels and follow-ups. And I thought about Vanishing Realms. I actually thought about, I was sitting there and I'm thinking, what about Vanishing Realms? I wonder if Ademo Labs or whoever is the people behind Vanishing Realms, what if they had a brand new Vanishing Realms that was just waiting in the wings and we didn't know about it? And there's a new Vanishing Realms that's going to hit. And then literally, like I was thinking about this, I believe it was yesterday when I was at work. I think it was either yesterday or Thursday. I was thinking of this exact topic. I was thinking about Vanishing Realms. And then here I am a day later and we get the actual information. So indie VR title, Vanishing Realms, is one of the top-rated titles on Steam VR, but remains in early access more than 3 years after launch. Kelly Bailey is the brains and sole developer behind Vanishing Realms. Let's see. So right now, as it stands, the title Vanishing Realms comprises the first 2 chapters of Bailey's vision. Kelly Bailey, the developer, right? Okay, and so this apparently is going to feature Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 of Vanishing Realms. This is going to be Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. Now, here's the thing. Okay, so here's the announcement. In a reply to users on the game's discussion board, Bailey writes, "I've been operating under an NDA for a while." And that's interesting. We're going to get back to that in just a second. "I've been operating under an NDA for a while, but will be able to make a full product announcement soon. In brief, the full expansion, Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, will ship within weeks. I remain the sole developer on the project and again apologize for the lack of communication on progress." Okay, so this is super, super interesting, guys, because he mentioned an NDA. Now, why would this guy be under an NDA? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like if it was coming to PlayStation VR or something, like if it was going to be Vanishing Realms 2 exclusive to PlayStation VR, and there was going to be an announcement or something like that, I don't understand why there would be an NDA. But if it's ValveIndex related, then maybe, just maybe, this game, Vanishing Realms, this follow-up, whether it's DLC, whether it's a completely standalone experience, we're not sure what form this is going to arrive on the store. But it does appear that this game is going to take full and total advantage of what the ValveIndex brings to the table. Because you know what? We are about to see the launch of the ValveIndex, and god damn it, I still have not received another email from Valve. I still have never paid any money to Valve. I'm waiting for July 31st. It is a crying shame. Hopefully there is someone in the greater Sacramento area that is getting a ValveIndex and can help a bro out. Let me just sample a little bit of some ValveIndex love when it arrives. Someone in Sacramento, California. There's got to be at least one person in Sacramento, California that is getting a ValveIndex ahead of time. I would love to check it out. But this launch is coming soon, and there could be a number of games that are going to coincide with this. This could be like a second wave of software. Remember, guys, if we went all the way back to April 2016, think of all the games that arrived right when the HTC Vive first launched. Think of all those games that arrived. Well, here we are. We're a little more than 3 years later, and this is kind of the follow-up thing. And so there might be a number of games that leverage the ValveIndex, and they come out with all kinds of videos that says, this game is best on ValveIndex. You can play it here, you can play it there, but if you want the ultimate experience is ValveIndex. Now, truth be told, the only real difference is going to be with the Knuckles controllers. So the headset itself is not going to provide, unless there was like some AR shit that was going on, that took advantage of those little cameras there. But otherwise, I don't know. So anyway, it's interesting. But dude, Vanishing Realms, like this is legit. This is a big, major game. I'm more excited about this, honestly, than I am Borderlands 2. Of course, I've played a little Borderlands 2 in VR, so that's probably part of the reason. But Vanishing Realms was always one of my favorites. Now we get to the question, there's the question of, so what is this going to be a separate game? Is this going to be Vanishing Realms 2? Is this going to be Vanishing Realms, the Sword of Ithacles or whatever, some little side title? Is this going to be a DLC that we have to pay like $20 to get the DLC? Is this just going to be straight up free? Is somebody that already has Vanishing Realms just going to get this completely for free? I don't know. I don't know what, I'm not sure what the reality is with this, but whatever it is, it's coming. That's the bottom line. And this is going to jump really high up the charts in terms, we're talking about most wanted games. We're talking about eSpire 1 is jumping up those charts. Absolutely. Vanishing Realms 2. We don't have a screenshot though. And we really would like a screenshot. We'd like a trailer. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm freaking super excited about this. This is big news. This is exciting. Vanishing Realms, easily one of the best VR games we've got out there. And it's about time. We need a follow-up, It's about time we had a follow-up for Vanishing Realms. So I'm not too surprised by that. I think we should have a follow-up. So anyway, let me go ahead and check and see what people in chat are talking about right now. Let's see here. So Jim Hall is asking Gerillo if he's tried the Reverb. Del Wolfensbarger has tried the Reverb. But who got the Reverb very recently? That's my question. Has anybody in chat got the Reverb very, very recently? Because that's pretty interesting. If anybody just got it right about now. Okay, Gerillo says, I got an email from Valve yesterday telling me that for my Index controllers, I can no longer edit or change the shipping address. Okay. And my virtual diary. In 2019, we have the choice of PC VR, console VR, and mobile VR, and games are following. We absolutely do. We do have a lot of choice out there. Right now with console VR, though, the only thing we have is PlayStation VR. And we're still waiting for Xbox. We're waiting for something more legitimate from Nintendo. Invisible VR Man said, so what about new Lenovo fund for your PayPal? Are you mean like when am I going to spend some money on something? Like why haven't I bought a Rift S? Why haven't I bought a Reverb? What the hell am I doing? Well, I do have to... I absolutely do have to. Now, Brandon's saying Jason Rubin's tweets, Anthony, catch up on the real news. I think we've covered all of that. as far as, I mean, we can look up Jason Rubin on Twitter and see if there's anything new that I haven't seen. I can do that real quick. Yeah, why don't we do that? Okay, let's look up Jason Rubin on Twitter. So hold on, folks. Jason, yeah, you know, actually, I forgot to read all the freaking Jason Rubin interviews. I should have done that. Jason Rubin Twitter, like all the different things because Jason Rubin, you want to talk about opening your pie holes. You know, we all like to open our pie holes, and Jason Rubin has been opening the great pie hole quite a bit recently, doing interviews and stuff like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and check out his little Twitter thing over here. Let's see if we can zoom in on this a bit, and I will move this up. Let's get off of that part there. And so, yeah, it says this is, well, he's retweeted responding to the top. Thank you for acknowledging this. It would be, oh, that's To the Top they're talking about. Yeah, so bottom line is it appears that To the Top, things are going to be worked out. Look, here's the deal. They found out that To the Top is a freaking beloved game. And maybe they didn't know, maybe they thought To the Top was just an okay, mediocre kind of thing. Now they know To the Top is a beloved ass game, and they've got to work with Electric Hat. I mean, that's the bottom line there, and I think that's happening. And then Dave Vills is saying, you know, my apologies, there's some mutual miscommunication, and he shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. And so Pavlov VR is coming to Quest. So that's good news. And let's see here. I'm opening this up a little bit. How do I do this, though? I resize this. So this is Chrome in my Webinal, and I'm trying to get the rest of it here. But yeah, he says, we have also come to understand the value to devs and consumers of a platform that holds a high quality standard. Oculus will try to help as many devs of any size to reach that bar. Let's work together to push VR forward. And on a personal note, okay, I haven't read this one. On a personal note, I was a dev for most of my working life. I was an indie for 10 years. I have had projects rejected. So he's basically saying, chill the F out, bro. I was a dev, bro. I was a dev for like 10 years. I've had projects freaking shuttled. So understand me, is basically what he's saying here. But yeah, no, I mean, we've covered this already. So this isn't really new information as far as we're concerned. I need to get my thing resized back the right way. But yeah, so anyway, that was the Jason Rubin stuff. But let's go ahead and go back over here. Yeah, I'm reading him backwards. So anyway, I just went to his, but I mean, we've seen most of that. I will take some time out and read all that stuff, and we'll do it on another episode. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about? Okay, you know what? PlayStation VR has a flurry of releases that are going to be coming very soon. In fact, well, they're coming next week. And why don't I talk really quickly about a lot of these releases real quick? Let's see if I can find this thing right here. Yeah, okay. So PlayStation VR, number one, next week, this Tuesday, Vacation Simulator. Yeah, we've had Vacation Simulator all this time. If you have an Oculus Rift, if you have an HTC Vive, if you have Windows Mixed Reality, a Pimax, a Samsung Odyssey, whatever, you've been able to play Vacation Simulator since like early April. And way back in early April, we remember we heard the announcements that Vacation Simulator was going to unfortunately be delayed, and it was going to arrive on PlayStation VR a little bit later. And so it is going to be arriving this Tuesday for PlayStation VR. Now, if you're a PSVR gamer, are you hyped for this? This is actually going to be curious. I am curious how this port is going to work out on PlayStation VR. Now, the original Job Simulator works pretty well on PlayStation VR. But Rick and Morty has never really worked right on PlayStation VR. Although I don't know that Alchemy Labs actually did the port for Rick and Morty on PlayStation VR. And I know Alchemy is handling this themselves personally, so I'm hoping this port will come through well and it won't have any problems like Rick and Morty did. But this is a really big release for PlayStation VR gamers, so that is going to hit on Tuesday. Let's see, there's also some other games that are coming on Tuesday. Let me see if I can find a gameplay clip real quick here. So now I'm not sure if this is actually coming Tuesday. We don't have an exact date that I've seen for this, but MarsAlive is going to be coming very, very soon for PlayStation VR. And it's funny because you look at this trailer here, you obviously see the HTC Vive controller. So this was originally probably designed on HTC Vive and was going to be a PC VR game. And as far as I know, MarsAlive is still going to come to PC VR, but it appears to be hitting PlayStation VR first. And we don't have it. This might be coming on Tuesday. I'm trying to find the exact date for this, but if it doesn't come this Tuesday, it's going to be coming within the next 10 days or so. So MarsAlive is coming for PlayStation VR. Looks mildly interesting. So it's kind of like The Martian, the movie, but basically the game. That's pretty much what MarsAlive is. That's coming very soon. Luna, I don't believe I have a trailer for Luna, but Luna is also coming on Tuesday. Of course, Luna is actually what we could do real quick here. Let me go to the webinar real quick. So we'll bounce back over here to the webinar. And let's just hop on. Actually, I'm on Steam somewhere on here, I think, right? Yeah. Okay, here we are. So Luna, Phenomena, Luna. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so Luna, this game is arriving on PlayStation VR, I believe, Tuesday. Was this Tuesday? Yeah, Luna. Okay, so Luna is arriving this Tuesday on PlayStation VR. So a lot of stuff coming out on PlayStation VR. Don't know so much what kind of price it's going to have, but on Steam you can see $15. It's positive, not a lot of reviews. And you got to feel for a company like Phenomena. I mean, these guys, I really love that. Like, that looks beautiful. That looks super beautiful right there. Like, I'm sure that I've used these as backgrounds for VR 365 thumbnail images at a certain point because all of this looks pretty beautiful and pretty spectacular. The thing is, I played Luna. It just didn't do that much for me. It was okay, but it just didn't really hit that spot for me. Now, it's only $15. And it's pretty beautiful and colorful looking, so that is arriving on PSVR. But another thing that is arriving on PSVR is Project Lux. Okay, so Project Lux, this game right here, which is very positive on the reviews, and I think this is another one of these games. Okay, no, she's not a Catwoman, but she probably has some cat ears that she can pull out of a bag at some point in time. But yeah, this one is also arriving on PlayStation VR next Thursday. So this one is coming next Thursday, and that is Project Lux. Okay, now you might be saying, well, none of these games are that special. You know, what's the big deal? Why are we talking about these PSVR games? Well, it's just because there's a batch of them that's arriving. Okay, another game that is coming, though, on Tuesday. Let me go back to, where am I here? Just lost something here. Oh, I'm in the wrong scene. Okay, let's go back over here. Sorry, I'm tripping out. Okay, so another one I wanted to talk about real quick, another game that is coming on Tuesday for PlayStation VR. Sorry there, had a brain fart. Can I find it? Yeah, Mini Mech Mayhem. Okay, so this game, Mini Mech Mayhem by Future Lab, this game is also coming out next Tuesday for PlayStation VR. So it's kind of an explosion of games that are arriving for PlayStation VR. Now, I gotta admit to you guys, so Mini Mech Mayhem, besides Vacation Simulator is definitely the biggest game that's coming out next week. At least for PlayStation VR players, it certainly is. But the second biggest one is probably this game right here, Mini Mech Mayhem. And Future Lab, their previous game on PlayStation VR is Tiny Tracks. And Tiny Tracks is one of the most colorful, beautiful games I've ever played in VR. Unfortunately, playability is a little, like, it's got a steep learning curve. It's really hard to learn how to properly control your little slot racer guy in what game am I talking about here? Tiny Tracks. Okay, sorry, I'm just tweaking out here. Okay, so Tiny Tracks, it's really hard to control your little guy in Tiny Tracks, your little racer that's going around. I just had a lot of problems controlling it. Now, Mini Mech Mayhem, we've heard about this game for a long time. Honestly, this style game doesn't really excite me very much, but you know what? This is one of these games where maybe I'll get my hands on it and it will surprise the living crap out of me, and I'll be like, oh my god, I love Mini Mech Mayhem, it's awesome. Because remember that other game for PlayStation VR? It was called Table of Tales, The Crooked Crown. Table of Tales, The Crooked Crown was exactly like this, where it looked like something I'd have zero interest in, and I wasn't really tripping on it. We ended up getting a key for Table of Tales, Crooked Crown, and I really liked it. I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is amazing. And so Mini Mech Mayhem, I could see that kind of being a similar kind of thing. But this is like a multiplayer thing as well, and I'm more of a single player guy. But this is coming out on Tuesday. But guess what, folks? We're not done. Let's go back to the Webinal browser. And let's see, one thing I did want to mention here, let me see if I can find the page for this. Okay, so another game that is coming, I believe this is coming Tuesday, or very close to Tuesday, is a game that is called Slumball VR. Slumball VR. And one of the things that they talk about with this game, Slumball VR, is the first ever photorealistic VR game. Just hit the ball and see where it can take you. Now, this, I believe, is going to be coming next week. It says photorealistic levels, awesome tournaments, fun combined with physical activity, changing gameplay and physics, smash water canisters in a sewer tunnel, crush flower pots all over the streets to collect points, smash the paint shop walls and paint them in a creative way, test your precision with balls and trash cans in photorealistic street levels. Okay, and it's basically kind of like an exercise game, and it's using the newest state-of-the-art technology, bro. Like, check this out. Slumball VR photorealistic levels were captured on an early morning in the old town of Estonia's capital, Tallinn, on a street called Ada. It was captured with a Faro Focus S70 laser scanner, the same technology used for creating 3D models for architecture, shipbuilding, and restoration of historical sites. We wanted to show the possibilities of what the future of VR could look like when graphics cards become better and this technology becomes more widespread. And so, yeah, so they did a really photorealistic look of this thing, and I grabbed a video of it, and I wanted to just show you guys what this video looks like real quick. It is called Slumball VR, and it is headed to PlayStation VR next week. Not that I'm like super hyped on it or anything, but there is kind of this explosion of games that are coming to PlayStation VR next week, and this is one of them. Let's check this out real quick. So, go ahead. Okay, yeah, so you can see that it does have a very photorealistic look. And kind of what it looks like to me is it's almost like photogrammetry. It's like they did really high-end photogrammetry and made that the textures of this area that you're in. And so you're in an alleyway, you're in these different places, and it's very photorealistic and has a very photorealistic look. And then you're kind of playing this dumb little game where, like, I've seen some different clips of this, and in one of them you're like using a sandal, and you're like using a sandal as a paddle, and you're hitting some weird things. But I was just kind of interested from the photorealism standpoint, where they're trying to say this is the most photorealistic VR game out there, or they're claiming that it's one of the most photorealistic photorealistic VR games that are out there. Now, Gerillo says the most photorealistic game in VR I have tried is Visage, which was supposed to add native VR, but you can force it with Steam. So, Visage is supposed to have, that's actually ranked. We have that game ranked. There is a VR mode coming for that game. So if we go back to the Webby here, and if I can go back to Steam, yeah, Visage VR, there is a VR mode that is coming to Visage, or whatever the hell it is. They don't have a specific VR page for it. But yeah, we've been tracking this one. It does look pretty good. Sad Square Studio is a developer, and that came out last October, but they are going to they're adding VR to this, but it hasn't arrived yet. But I guess there's a way to force it and get VR out of it if you really want to do that. Okay, so, another topic I wanted to talk about, actually, let's go back to the webinar because I want to show you guys this. Okay, so there is a YouTuber out there called Mr. Beast. And I don't know if you've heard of this guy, you've seen this guy, and you're probably thinking, what the hell does this have to do with VR? Well, my kids, I have teenage sons, and my younger teenage son watches this guy's videos all the friggin' time. And I don't know much about this, but the bottom line is this dude has 20 million subs. This guy is a mainstream YouTuber. Like, he is well known. He's up there with the big boys in terms of like YouTubers out there, right? Well, he recently did a video, last to leave VR wins $20,000, and this video has 18 million views. And this was done a while ago, so this is a little while back. But I just happened to notice this video, and I just happened to see it, and this is good news. This is really good news for us, folks. Like, watch. I'm going to throw in a clip of this, just the very, very beginning of this video, just so you can kind of get an idea for what they're doing here.
All with VR headsets. The last one to remove it wins $1,000 for every hour they had it on. So if Chris spent 2 days in VR and he won, he would get $48,000 because for every hour, 48 hours, he got $1,000.
Take that headset off.
No, turn to your right.
No. First game is Beat Saber. We might play for like an hour. Everyone have fun. All right.
What do I do? What should I
play? The Mr. Beast song. Why are you bent over like this?
Because I'm tall and it's all the way down here.
I love that we have the green screen and we can put anything behind him right now.
He should be chopping some.
So anyway, yeah, that is this video by Mr. Beast, and they have these guys playing, and they have a number of different guys doing it. And yeah, this is a clickbaity ass thing. I mean, obviously that is what all of this stuff is. But the bottom line is millions upon millions of people are seeing this. And I watched basically all of the VR parts of this video, and they weren't ever really talking smack about VR like people did back in the old days. Like, they all seemed kind of cool with it. They're joking about other stuff here. But the beautiful thing is that this is great for VR in general. This is just a good thing for VR, period. Whether you have any interest in this kind of crap at all, it exposes VR to a lot of people that aren't too exposed to it. It gets them a little bit more interested. They see, hey, these guys are playing VR. They're playing Beat Saber. They're playing Super Hot. They're doing this. They're doing that. And so it's nice to see this. This is a good thing, no matter how clickbaity and cringy or whatever you might want to say. Now, I grabbed another clip of it. This is like the very end of the clip here. Hold on a second. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the volume up, and I'm just going to show another quick clip. It was the very end of the video.
Bent over like this.
Because I'm tall and it's all the way down here.
I love that we have the green screen and we can put anything behind him right now.
Gabby ended up leaving 10 hours in, and Mark ended up sticking it out for 18 hours with Chris. But in the end, Chris prevailed.
Chris, he totally took his headset off. You can take yours off.
I'll never leave.
He totally took his off. Take yours off.
I don't believe you.
So anyway, one guy ended up being in there for 18 hours. I'm not sure. This guy apparently is the winner. I don't know how many hours he was in there. But anyways, that's pretty much the end of the video there. But yeah, you know, this is not really like VR news, but it's something I did. I just happened to notice, like, I just randomly going to YouTube, that clip popped up. I was in like a private browsing thing or whatever where no one was signed in. It wasn't under any account. And I put VR, like I did a search for VR, and that happened to pop up. And that just shows you that's what people are seeing when they do a search for VR. Okay, so this clip that I'm running right here, this is Thief Simulator VR, and they're doing a lockpick. Like, this is the lockpick mechanism for Thief Simulator VR. A new video, this has come out recently, looks pretty good. Let's check this out for a sec. Okay, yeah, so that is Thief Simulator VR, but they're just kind of showing like the night vision mode and kind of, using your lock pick to pick this lock over here. So anyway, Thief Simulator VR, it's another upcoming game that looks halfway decent. I really feel like we've got quite a bit of really good VR games that are coming in the not too distant future. Like, I recently ranked a whole bunch of VR games on VR Game Rankings. In fact, we made a top 100. We actually have a top 100 now. There were and I've got to add more games to it. I've got to add more because I've got to add Vanishing Realms 2 to the list. I still got to add Vertigo 2, which is coming as well. And it's just kind of crazy how many we have a top 100 most wanted PC VR games. Watch, let's go ahead and check this out over here. Top 100 most wanted PC VR games. It's incredible how many games we've got. No Man's Sky, Stormland, Asgard's Wrath, Boneworks, Lone Echo, Population 1, After the Fall, Borderlands 2, Defector, Walking Dead Onslaught, Rogan, Dirt Rally, Firmament, Journey of the Gods, Vader Immortal next Thursday, by the way. Vader Immortal next Thursday. Undead Citadel, Blunt Force, Elder Scrolls Blades, Nostos, Lo-Fi, Wolfenstein, Cyberpilot. Here's Thief Simulator at number 2. Espire 1 is at number 27. That game is going to jump way the hell up the charts after all the information, like Nathy just raving about this game. So apparently Espire 1 is legit, and it's going to find its way up in here. Like, it is going to jump way up into the mix. It's going to get up there kind of where Rogan is and Dirt Rally and stuff. It's going to jump up in there somewhere. So that is rising up the charts. But stuff like District Steel is still out there. Until You Fall looks good. Pistol Whip looks good. Sniper Elite VR. I've heard some really good things about this. This is coming next year. Nathy was talking about that one as well. The Rig, Node, Budget Cuts 2, Battlewake, Phantom Covert Ops, Titan Arena, Soulscape, Half-Life 2 VR mod, Elysium, Hellsplit Arena, Falcon Age, which of course is coming to the Epic Game Store, similar to Borderlands 2 VR. Just kidding, but I don't know. I have a strong feeling that that's actually going to happen. Disciples of Dawn by freaking Stonepunk Studios. They've got a new game. He's got a new game coming next year, probably like summer of 2020, somewhere around then. 9, The Splintered Mind, Boiling Steel, The Wizard's Dark Dark Times, Eye of the Temple, Spectro, Area of Darkness, Fuji, Abe, Grana. This is just 50. This is just the top 50. Then you get stuff like Hollowception, The Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets, just so many games. And you know what I've got to add? Like Tinker Pilot, Mare, The Days After, Into the Radius, Ascend. Remember we heard how good Ascend is. Like somebody was saying Ascend is their freaking game of the show. Downstream VR whitewater rafting is not too far away. That's going to be coming in the not too distant future. Last Labyrinth, we saw that trailer at the very beginning of today's episode. That is going to be coming sometime this summer. Loco Parentis coming soon. Ninja Legends as well. A whole bunch of games. Visage VR, speaking of that game, it is ranking in here. We continue. Now it really starts to fall off when you get down here. Some of these are a little bit shaky, but I've got to add Vanishing Realms 2 to this list. I've got to add Vertigo 2. There's probably a few other games I got to add. Man, we've got a lot of really good upcoming VR games. We've got a lot, man. We've got plenty of games coming, and all of these games are going to start filtering out over the next several months throughout this summer. And then as we get into fall and as we get into first quarter 2020, we've got constant games coming out. Now, here's the downside. So many games, right? The downside is that if you really want a very, very specific game, or if you really like a very, very specific genre, maybe your game isn't there. But if you're willing to be open-minded, and if you're willing to play just whatever happens to be like the best VR games that happen to fall our way, like if you're willing to just kind of open yourself up to a game like Hollowception that you might normally not consider, or a game like The Curious Tale of the Stolen Pets, or Hotel R&R by Wolf and Wood Interactive, or something like Fuji, which is like a gardening thing of some type, a Ghostbuster kind of a game like Spectro, some different games, all kinds of different types of games, right? You open yourself up to these different experiences. We've got a lot of games that are coming. It is really an exciting, wonderful thing. So many games on the way. But anyway, that was that. Okay, so let's go ahead and check back to chat and see what some people are talking about. Girillo says there is a ton of VR headsets this year, now a backlog of VR games. VR is alive. Is it alive or is it dead? Because Ubisoft did not have any games for us. Steve Drumheller of Conquer Reality at VR365. How did you rank these games on this list? Seem pretty legit. Well, see, here's the thing. We would love it if people would submit their own rankings. If you go all the way down to the bottom here, you can submit your own rankings. Unfortunately, we don't actually get that many people that do submit their own rankings, and we need a bare minimum of a certain number of people to submit their rankings. And if we don't get the bare minimum, then I pretty much have to do it. Or really, it's the VR game ranking editors, which is pretty much me right now. So I basically create these lists. But I try to come up with it like this particular list right here. Like I try to think of the general audience out there. Like this isn't my exact order. This isn't Anthony, me. This isn't my exact order. Like Dirt Rally 2.0, I'm not that excited in Dirt Rally 2.0. I'd have some of these other games ranked ahead of that. I'm not too excited in Nostos. I'd have some of these other games ranked ahead of Nostos. But I try to think of the average VR fan out there and how would the average VR fans kind of rank this. And then again, look at this stuff is entertainment purposes, okay? This is only for entertainment purposes. These dates, the dates are speculative. I put dates on things because people want to have a date on something, but I have like third quarter 2019 for Stormland. We have no proof of that whatsoever. They've never said anything. We know that supposedly it's coming in 2019, but I try to predict. I'll try to predict like a quarter or a certain period of time, and I go with the prediction, and then as soon as we have like an accurate locked in release date, then obviously I update that. Boneworks, we have that as third quarter. And the reason we have that is ValveIndex, man. The ValveIndex launch. I have a feeling that Boneworks is not a fourth quarter game. I think it might come this summer. Now, maybe I'm wrong, and we'll readjust the release date when that happens. Okay, this needs to be updated because Lone Echo 2 is first quarter 2020. That needs to be updated. After the fall, we're predicting second quarter 2020 on that. Borderlands, we've been sitting on July for a long time. Defector is still summer 2019. Okay, Rogan Thief in the Castle, this baby is coming in July. Get hyped for Rogan, baby. And also Espire 1, which is going to jump way the hell up there. I got to update. Okay, we do have August. We do have August for that. Pistol Whip, summer 2019. I'm not sure about that. I need to double check that. Wolfenstein is July 26. But yeah, a lot of times we don't get a release date. Like I don't have a release date for Lo-Fi, but we're predicting summer of 2020. Now, of course, early next year, we might find out that Lo-Fi isn't even coming in 2020. It's like a first quarter 2021 game. Would I be shocked by that? No, I wouldn't. And we'll update the website accordingly as soon as we get updates. Now, you can click on these games, and a lot of times we will have what we call a game profile page, which just kind of gives you a little bit more information about it. You can go to the developer's website and stuff. If there's a Steam page for it, you can go to the Steam page, you can watch the trailer, and you can, of course, order yourself an Oculus Quest if you'd like. Of course, we do get a kickback for that, so I probably have to mention that. But yeah, this is kind of what we don't have game profile pages for everything. Like I still need to make some more game profile pages, like Hell Split Arena. Like I don't have a page for this yet, which that kind of sucks. I don't have a page for Battle Wake yet. So I got to add a bunch more game profile pages, but we do have game profile pages for some of these. You click on them, you can get some more information and find some stuff out. But yeah, 100, man. We've got 100 games, and I need to update this. Vertigo 2 needs to be added. Vanishing Realms 2 needs to be added. And I'm thinking I'm going to start adding some DLC as well, like the Arizona Sunshine, that DLC. Even though it's not a game, it's kind of a specific thing. Might start adding some of that stuff, ranking that as well, because there's a lot of hype for that. Same thing with the expansion that is coming to Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades. You know, stuff like that as well. But let's go ahead and bounce back over here to the standard scene. And I think I'm pretty much done for the day. The one last thing I was going to just mention really quick is actually, let's go back to the Webby. And let's go to the Oculus store. So this is kind of weird, but have you guys noticed the daily deal, I guess, is just a dead thing. It has been a long time since I have seen a daily deal. So this is the Oculus.com Experiences Rift area, and I have not seen a daily deal in quite some time. Not seen any kind of a daily deal. They are showing the coming soon games. We can go ahead and click on that and take a look. Journey of the Gods coming soon. I think that's going to be nice. I think this is going to be good on PCVR. I think it's going to look a lot sharper, a lot better. You're going to be able to super sample the living crap out of it. After the fall is going to be sweet. Oh yeah, Face Your Fears 2. I need to rank that. Oh, damn, I do not want to see the freaking Black Widows. I still haven't seen the Black Widows yet. Battle Wake is coming. Raccoon Lagoon. Oh, Raccoon Lagoon. I haven't ranked that for PCVR either. So look, check this out. I got to rank this as a PCVR game, this as a PCVR game. The rest of these are all ranked. I got to rank Vertigo 2. I got to rank Vanishing Realms 2. So the list is just getting stronger and stronger. Now, of course, games are going to start to fall off of it as games start to come out. But yeah, I have not seen... we haven't seen daily deals. I have not seen daily deals. Like if we go to on sale now, they do have some games that are on sale. And I could take a quick look here and see if there's anything that really jumps out at me in terms of a game that's on sale. Obviously, Carnage Chronicles is an incredible game, just a very awesome game. Speaking of Vanishing Realms, you know, this game I think is even better than Vanishing Realms. But, you know, the Vanishing Realms guy, like if we go back here, this story right here, the developer of Vanishing Realms talks about this game. He says, "This feels like the most challenging game design task I've ever worked on. Sticking with exclusively linear design would be significantly easier." But I'm just personally fascinated by the sense of exploration in larger outdoor fantasy landscapes in VR. I've spent tons of time working on this, and I'm tentatively optimistic. What an interesting phrase. Tentatively optimistic. But yeah, Vanishing Realms, this is a whole new thing. So, maybe Carnage Chronicles is better than Vanishing Realms right here and right now. But this new one, this expansion, Vanishing Realms 2, or whatever it ends up actually being, could take the title back for best dungeon crawler in VR, period. It might take that title back. And so looking forward to that. And that's within a couple of weeks. Apparently, this is going to arrive. It's going to arrive within a couple of weeks, timed almost perfectly, timed very conveniently with the June 28th rollout of the ValveIndex. So could you imagine, man, you get your ValveIndex in the mail because you were in the first wave. You were one of the lucky ones that is in the first wave. You get your ValveIndex in the mail, and then like a day later, you're able to play Vanishing Realms 2 at 144 hertz with these incredible wide open areas and an awesome dungeon crawler type of a game. That would be awesome. So that would be sweet. Absolutely looking forward to that. So anyways, I need to bounce out of here. But before I bounce out of here, let me just take a quick little, a last little check of chat and see what some people are talking about here. Conrad Hyde says, did you buy a ValveIndex, I think is what he's saying here. Yeah, well, I've ordered a ValveIndex. Unfortunately, I'm in the second wave. And I don't know, I haven't gotten any other emails or anything, but my hope is that I'm getting a ValveIndex on July 31st. Unfortunately, on Bone, though, I'm not getting a ValveIndex when all of you guys are getting your ValveIndex. So that is very unfortunate. It sucks, but oh well, I'm not going to cry a river over that. Oh yeah, Paolo Triani says it's odd that there is no Vader Immortal on that list of... Yeah, it's coming next Thursday to Rift. That's what we've heard. It's coming next Thursday to Rift. Why wouldn't it be on there? I'm not sure. Conrad Hyde says, how did you afford it? How did I afford the ValveIndex? Good question. Good question. And I'll tell you how I afforded the ValveIndex. I afforded the ValveIndex because I have a lot of people that are helping me out via Patreon. They're helping me out with PayPal donations, and oh my God, I appreciate it like you wouldn't believe. I absolutely appreciate any of the support that anybody has provided, and one of my recent Patreon supporters is Studio Form VR, and I just wanted to say thank you very much, Studio Form VR, for supporting VR 365, supporting VR Game Rankings, the website where you can go there and check some different things out, like the different most wanted lists. Yeah, people have helped me out. A lot of people have helped me out, PayPal, etc. And luckily, I've got enough money pulled together basically, that I can pretty much buy a ValveIndex. Now, I can't buy a ValveIndex, a Rift S, a Reverb, and a Cosmos. I can't buy all of those, but I can pretty much buy a ValveIndex, or maybe like a Rift S and one more or something like that. But I can basically buy a ValveIndex, and that is thanks to you guys. I appreciate it. It's incredible. Absolutely. Thanks so much. Del Wolfensparger says, it's a sad moment when Anthony has to bounce out of here. I need lunch, man. I need lunch. I'm starving. Right now, it is 1:10 p.m. in Sacramento, and I am hungry. I had breakfast way early. Somebody already got their tracking numbers for the index. That is Limbra 0. Wow. So, yeah, and Gaming Science Teacher says, oh, Gaming Science Teacher. Gaming Science Teacher, hey, you want to come on the show tomorrow and let's talk Quest for like 2 hours? Come on, Gaming Science Teacher, I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot. Gaming Science Teacher, look, it is June 15th. Tomorrow is June 16th on Father's Day. No, okay, Gaming Science Teacher, it's last minute. She might not be able to do it. But if she wants to join us tomorrow for a show where we can talk about the Quest for 2 hours and make all of these PC VR Questicles, make them all hate us so much because all we're going to talk about is Quest. Or Gaming Science Teacher, okay, you know what? If you can't do it tomorrow, it's Father's Day. I know, it's busy. We can do it next week, but I got to have you on. And people would love to see you on a webcam. Wear some glasses. You could shade yourself out and put yourself in the witness protection program, but get yourself a webcam. See, gaming science teacher has not responded. Oh no, I put her on the spot. She doesn't want to be on the spot. Sorry for that. But I would love to have her on because, man, she's had a lot of time with the Quest, and I'm sure she's played a lot of Quest games, and I'm very curious to get her impressions and also about all the drama that has been going on, the Pavlov drama, the To the Top drama, the virtual desktop drama. Has she, all kinds of stuff we could possibly talk about. But yeah, I would love to have a gaming science teacher on. But this is crazy last minute. She'll probably won't be able to make it for tomorrow's show. But that would be super awesome. Yeah, whoa, pressure. Yeah, gaming science teacher's like, whoa, like a little bit of pressure maybe? Yeah, absolutely a lot of pressure. But if you want to do it tomorrow, it is all gracious. We can do it. Or possibly one more week if you want to wait another week. But I got to bounce out of here, guys. I am starving like Marvin, like you wouldn't believe. And I think I might have some good Thai food real quick. And oh, do I love that Thai food. That pad Thai is legit. The green curry is legit. All right, guys. Well, I need to bounce the heck out of Dodge. I will see everybody tomorrow on Sunday's episode. Sunday Fun Day. And you know what? It's Father's Day tomorrow. And I'm a father, but I'm still going to bang it out because my kids don't give a damn. And you know what? I am a father, so I want to do a show on Father's Day. So I'm going to do a show on Father's Day. There's no VR Roundtable tomorrow, so it's just going to be my show. I would like a guest. Maybe I will have a guest. I don't know. We'll see. But if I don't have a guest, I'll just try to come up with some interesting stuff to talk about for about 45 minutes or whatever. And we can do that. So I will see everybody tomorrow, probably around 11 a.m. roughly. I'll probably do the show around 11 a.m. tomorrow, Pacific time. So I will see you guys then. So everybody have a wonderful Saturday. Take it easy. I got to bounce the heck out of here. Let me see if I can stop this stream. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.